Welcome everyone. Wow, where did that time go? It seems like I was only sat here the other day. But this theme's been very, very deep theme, where you don't want to go. I don't know whether anyone's seen the film Revolver. Really deep movie. It's one of my favourites. It really sort of touches me very deeply, and yeah, I didn't really know why that theme came in the beginning, but now I do, and that's what I'll be sharing with you today. Yeah, that film, I found it quite hard actually, because he goes through a beautiful forgiveness, and I've seen it about 5 times now, maybe more than that, 5 or 6 times. And in the beginning, I couldn't handle that he forgave his arch enemy. I thought, oh God, why did he do that? And that particular scene is where he gets down on his knees at the end of his, it's a gangster movie, and where you don't want to go, that's where you'll find him. And he has this forgiveness right at the very end, and he gets on his knees, and at the end of his arch enemy's bed, and says, I'm sorry for what I did, can you please forgive me? And I always hated that. I thought, oh God, how can he back down like that after everything that happened? Holding on to the past. And so I thought, God, I don't know whether I can do that. And so his name's Jake Green, the main character, and I've taken on Jake Green as a role model. It's like, wow, if he can do that, after all he went through, he served 7 years in prison, apparently due to this guy, his name's Macca, his arch enemy. So he served 7 years in prison, and obviously many things went on in between that, and he's not happy. And lucky enough, these characters come in early on, Holy Spirit characters, to help him, but it doesn't look like the help that you would think. It seems like everything's being taken away, which it is, because it's completely and utterly worthless. So everything that was his self-concept around money and power, control, was all being taken away. And they have terms that he must answer all their questions and do exactly as they say. And so he has to really go into himself and just take these lessons on, which are extremely hard. And why I relate to this movie is because what they do is they do the conversation that he's having in his head as well. And he has a lot of resistance to how they're talking to him. And he has a lot of aggression towards what's being said. So I could notice that in my own mind, and so I can laugh about that. I enjoy that about this movie. Like I can relate to how his ego seemingly relates to him. And so I've always loved this movie, and over the time of seeing it, of going through it, and getting up to the point of forgiveness, each time I felt like a little something softened inside of me, like, yeah, maybe I can do it. You know, it's like my ego's like a gangster in my mind. That's like how it rules me. And so I can really, really relate to what happens in that scene. I recommend you watch it. I did actually post it on Facebook through one of my posts, so you'll be able to find it there. But each time I watched it, in the beginning, as I said, I was repelled by it. I was like, oh my God, how can he do that? How can he forgive him? I want you to, revenge. And that was a strong thing for me. I wasn't into forgiveness. I was more into revenge. And so he was forgiving, and it's like, oh my God, he's being weak. But over time of watching it, it got less and less and less. And now I see it as being very beautiful, and I'm so grateful that he took me on that journey. Guy Ritchie as well, who wrote the movie, to to say, yeah, no, I'm not going to be a prisoner to this, because it's all ego thinking. And that's what the whole movie's all about, is that there's a power that controls you and you don't see it. And it's everywhere. And there's nothing you can do about it. And it makes you believe that it's you. And so his two mighty companions are wanting him to, through the surrender, through the letting go, they're wanting him to understand that he's been listening to the wrong voice. And because he's got a strong character, that it's going to take a lot to let go of all of that. It's going to be a big, big dismantling. And it has to be quick, and it has to be precise. And so there's no room for him to wait around. It's in the moment. It's step by step. It's just the guidance is coming every moment. And I think that is a good thing, because he couldn't go into himself so much. He recognised that he had to let go in this quick way, because his ego was very, what's the word? It had a lot of grip over him, to say the least. And so it was going to take everything to come in to dismantle that. And of course, really, the whole point of it is the ego has no power over you whatsoever. It makes you believe that it has this power over you. That's the whole game. And if you're wound in like he was, he believed that he was being controlled by this. He wanted to get revenge. He wanted to get the guy back, and that was the end of it. That was going to make him happy. And he wanted to also do it for his friends. His friends, his gang, they were all a part of it. No, he owes us, so we're going to get what we're entitled to. But what he didn't realise is underneath, and of course we all have that deep, deep prayer, like it or like it, you have a deep prayer, whether you're aware of it or not. You want something much greater for yourself. And we are bringing that prayer into awareness, really. That's all it is building on that awareness until that completely and utterly takes us over. And it's always burning inside of us. And so for him, he didn't even realise that he had this deep prayer, this deep, deep prayer inside. But yet, of course, he did, because that's why now this unravelling came along, to be saying no to the ego. And so I didn't really know why this theme came in. And of course, from last week, I said, bring it on. Whatever the lessons are, this is what Get Real is all about. This is what the journey is all about. It's about facing everything and seeing the nothingness for what it is. That's what I actually love about it. I think that's what gives me the courage to go on. I think when you don't have the courage, it's because you're believing in the fear that's real. But what I say in my mind before I'm doing anything, or anything's coming up, it's like, this isn't real. This is not real. So it may feel real. There may be sensations going on in my body. There may be outside forces, seemingly, that are showing me things that I don't want to look at. I might feel like a victim. There might be a whole story, there'll be a huge projection going on, and yet there might be fear coming up. There might be a multitude of things going on to stop me from being who I am. And the first thing is, well, this is not consistent for start off with, so therefore it's not real. So how uncomfortable it may be, let's go and face it. So, and of course, as we know, on this journey, the ego's coming along for the ride until I choose, which is a choice, which is your choice, to let it go. It's really actually that simple. It's not hard. It's just let go. And it's over. And that time will come. It's just very, very simple. But yet, there's this clinging on, which is seemingly difficult. So the ride is going to be this split mind until eventually there is no split mind, and it's one mind, and it's whole mind, and it's complete. And so all the time you want this friend dragging along, it's gonna be there. So when you say a prayer like "Bring it on," the Holy Spirit hears you. Great, wonderful. Okay, I'm going to help you to release what never was. And the ego says, yeah, great, I'm going to make this as difficult as possible to stop you from letting go of me. Because without that, I will not exist. I have to have you to believe in me. And so, do you think I'm going to just let that go? So this is what we're up against. So last week when I said, bring it on, and we're saying it again this week, bring it on. We're not going to stop. So whatever games you want to play, here I am. And the ego was like, yeah, great. I'm going to get you on this one then. I'm going to really, really get you. And so it's a deep topic. It's a deep, you could see this is where the ego tries to get you. You see, it's a deep topic. There's nothing deep about it. It wants to make up stories like this, like these words. It's a core belief. I mean, what's all that about? What's so core about it? There's no core to the ego's belief. It just makes up things to make itself sound big, huge, and powerful, and it's not. So, seemingly, it's like it knows your buttons. It knows exactly where to get you. So, he's like, yeah, I've got a few weapons up my sleeve that is going to stop you in your tracks. Thank you very much. And I struggle with authority, that's for sure. Don't we all? We think we're the authority, and we're not. You are not the authority of anything. The source is the authority and always will be. And that's what we're letting go and releasing to, where all the joy is. But yet we think we know better. Of course, that's my problem. I think I know better. And this particular scenario plays out. And a mighty companion is really, really helping me with this, which is great, which is really great, because we need this. It's like we need this to act these things out. It's not always pretty, don't get me wrong. But it has to be seen. And so what happened was I've got a solid building. I've got a building job going on here with a load of drains. The drainage in Mexico isn't always that great, and I don't understand all these systems, to be honest. It's all different. And so we had to do a lot of digging. And what happened was in the beginning I wasn't fully aware of what was going on. And so my friend asked me, hey, what's going on? And because I didn't know what was going on, I felt responsible. I felt I'm going to be found out that I don't know what's going on. So I've got to pretend that I know what I'm doing. And there was this protectionism in there. It was like, well, I don't want anyone else getting stressed out, but this is going to be quite a big thing. I'm feeling pretty stressed out. I'm protecting that I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm trying to protect the other person by saying, back off, I've got it. And so I said a few things which it's like an old script. It's like, I like heard it as, but I heard from the conversation was, what's going on? I need to know everything that's going on. And because I didn't know what was going on, I felt defensive, and it was just a few choice words. Get out of it. I'm going to deal with it. You don't have to worry about it. That's the nice version. It wasn't that nice. And so I got angry because I was protecting my unworthiness, my self-doubt, my not knowing truly what was going on, not wanting to be found out. So I had a lot of reasons why I got upset. And of course, that then just undone a door. That just undone the door of the ego. It was like, yeah, got you wound up over it. And I could see that it was, the beautiful thing was, is I could see it was like this old script. You know, the things that I said was, I've said them 1,000 times. Unfortunately, it's just been repetitive. So I knew it wasn't personal. I thought, okay, I know this isn't personal. God, I really wish I hadn't have said it. And I do. I wish, I regret it. But in some respects, it opened up this door, and it's, I don't even know where the whole thing's going. I know there's much deeper lessons within all of this. So this is why I'm so grateful. But it's always with seemingly a controlling woman in my life. I perceive control, and I think, yeah, you won't be controlling me, thank you very much. You can try everything you've got, but you're going to find out what's going to happen, and you're going to find out the hard way. And so that was always my thing, because there's something there, which I still don't know, is that I can't face. There's something underneath it. And so always the protection has been the anger. The anger's just, get out of it, beat it. You're not gonna win me over. Because of course, the ego projection is, they're trying to control you. So that automatically fires me up to, right, get back in your box, thank you very much. I'm in charge here. And it just perpetuates, it just keeps it in place. It keeps it into this personal, interpersonal game. And of course, now I'm seeing it and I'm like, this is not it. This is not it. This is going around and around. I don't know how many times this is happening to me. It can't be about well, I know it's not about the person. So there's something underneath. So of course I know that anger is always a secondary emotion to something else that is deeper, often upset, a deep hurt. And of course I'm doing, the ego thought system is doing everything that it possibly can to stay away from that. Don't go there. It doesn't want me to uncover that, because then this whole thing will be done. And so I've just been literally on my knees with it. I'm just like, I can't believe I allowed that door to open. And of course the situation's always completely and utterly pathetic. Because what I could have said, the simple version, rather than getting all anti, would have been, I don't know what's going on at the moment, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to phone the builder up and I'm going to find out exactly what's going on. And then I can give you a really good answer as to what's happening and how we're going to move forward, and if you agree with it. And that would have been, okay, yeah, great. But of course, luckily, in some respects, it didn't go that way, because it's really about the healing. And I can't control that. And so of course this stuff comes up. I don't particularly like it, but it came forth, and I just felt like, you know, the Groundhog Day, where it's just going around and around. And I thought, here we are again. I cannot do this. I cannot go on like this. I can't do another round of this. I cannot go through this of me losing it and then, okay, having to look at this situation with this seeming outside control. And so been on my knees all week and saying, okay, everything, just bring it all in. I don't care where it comes from, anything. I need help. And that's the only thing that I could say out of the whole thing, because I'm so lost. I've got to the point where, okay, seemingly in the form, seemingly in my thoughts and everything like that, I can see what's happening. But to get underneath the beliefs and whatever, it's just, at the moment, it's not letting me. And so it's like, I cannot do this. I cannot go around again. No, I am not doing it. It's painful. I think that's been the beautiful thing, actually, because this becomes so painful, so intolerable, that you just can't sit with it any longer. It's like there's joy waiting for me, and what? I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit here and stay in this. Oh, there's a situation going on. I'm going to need to hold my ground. I'm going to have to hold my power, and yeah, they can have a little bit of power, but they're going to have to remember that I hold the power in the end. All these silly games, and it's like, well, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's intolerable to do that. And so I was praying deeply, literally like on my knees, please help me. And so I'm thinking about the episode where you don't want to go. That's where you'll find him. And yes, okay. I've got to move in this direction. That's where I'm going. Well, okay. So probably the best thing to do is to actually speak to my friend about how I'm feeling. That would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. So I thought, yeah, that's what I've got to do, and that would be a really good step. And that was this morning. But in the meantime, these thoughts are past. And so we had the movie last night. We had Oblivion, and I'm thinking, God, please just bring me something. I need this to be healed. And that was a beautiful, beautiful movie. And something moved. I'm not sure what moved, to be honest. There was no insight in it, but I felt joy was coming over me, but it was still, no, you have to talk. You have to talk. You have to share how you feel to your brother. And so I felt that was the strongest, like, yep, where you don't want to go. So I don't want to be doing this. There was that fear there. So, okay, good. I found that. But I was still in the dark as to what it was. And so also previous to this, my friend Anna, we had a phone call, and she said, "Oh my God, I watched this thing about this nun. It was amazing, really amazing." Okay, I said, "Send me that." She said, "Yeah, I'll send it to you." So she sends it to me, and that was the end of it. I went and watched the Oblivion movie. I was like, wow, it blew me away, and I felt the beauty. I felt something. There was expansion going on. I just felt a weight had lifted, but I felt this nervousness because I knew I had to speak to my friend, and that seemed better to be today. So I was like, okay, do that tomorrow. Yeah, that feels good. There seems to be a plan. And felt the courage from the movie. The movie was like, keep going forward, keep going forward. That's all I kept hearing. And it was relating to the theme of today. And so I thought, yeah, this has been a real big theme. Just keep moving forward, no matter what. And after the movie, boom, this nun movie wouldn't leave my mind. So I went down to my room and I thought, I'm going to watch that. It was just like there. And I saw that it was an hour and a half, and it was like, God, it was getting on for 11 o'clock, I think. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was getting on for 11 o'clock, and this movie was an hour and a half. So I thought, okay, I might watch half or 20 minutes or whatever, see how I go. And I start playing it, and it's just singing to me. I couldn't get away from it. So, and as we talked about in the Oblivion, time doesn't matter. There's no tiredness, and all of these things are just a matter of the ego. I am gripped to this. It's a documentary. Her name's Claire Crockett, Sister Claire Crockett. You can type it in and find it. You can get it on YouTube, and it's basically about her journey. And this was the miracle. This was what I was waiting for. This was the answer. And so yesterday I was doing my gardening. I was watering all the plants, and it was really, really beautiful. And it's a really beautiful time for me to be doing that, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And at the same time, I was on my knees, just saying, "Help me, help me." That's all I kept saying throughout my time. And the answer came through this movie, and she reminded me of me. It was beautiful, really, because she wanted to be an actress. I didn't want to be an actress. She wanted to be an actress. All of her life, she was very outgoing type of person and very funny, and she's just natural. She was just a natural actor. She just had this natural ability to be around people, and so that was a complete and utter main goal. And basically, what happened is when she got to 17, her friend said, "Do you want to go to Spain?" And she thought that she was going to Spain to go to Ibiza to go partying. Now that's where she relates to me, because she liked partying, she liked drinking, she smoked, she was into relationships, and so she was thinking, okay, great, I'm going to go to Spain. on a party trip, and the thing was, it was free. And what she had to do is she had to go around to this guy's house to get her ticket. And she was like, oh, okay, great. So she goes round to this guy's house and gets this ticket to go to Spain. And when she actually gets there, a few weeks later, whenever it was, that it was actually a pilgrimage for Holy Week. And she's like, what the hell am I doing this for? And so she's very, very full of herself. She's 17 years old. And she goes there, and she's her normal sort of very full of herself, outward character. And of course, it's very, very different than what the other people are going for. But she still has a respectful nature. And there comes to a point, and it's part of the Catholic tradition. I mean, I didn't know any of this. And then they said, now we've got a ceremony in the church and you've got to go and kiss the cross. And she's like, oh, okay, right, fine, whatever. So she thought nothing of it. And then when it was finally her turn, she kissed the feet of Jesus on the cross. And this is where it needs a bit of interpretation, but she said she felt that Jesus died for her on the cross because of her sins. And at the same time, she felt all this love that she had for him. And of course, really, the projection is it's just our own hatred that we're dealing with. No one died for us. And so she saw, it was like in this moment how I saw it, she saw all of her suffering, almost like the Buddha. It's like she saw all of her suffering and sinful nature, and then, oh my God, wow, and Jesus loves me. And this was the thing that just broke her mind. You know, Jesus died for me and he loves me. And so she said, I want to be a famous nun. And the abbot, or whatever the head priest, I'm not sure what they call him, he really took a shine to her and saw that she was being honest. She had something. And she went away. She said, yeah, I'm going to be a nun. And he's like, yeah, you'll be a famous nun. Yeah. He really believed in her. And a lot of the other nuns thought, no, she'll never come back. She said, yeah, I'm going to come back. And that's what the priest said. He said, well, you have to go away and then come back and you can be a nun. And so she went away, but she carried on her acting career, which was with a big English television company, and she was getting movies now, and she was also doing Nickelodeon, the kids channel. So she was doing a lot of things and earning a lot of money, and at 17, and she was drinking a lot and getting herself into a lot of mischief. And then she had another experience whereby it felt like Jesus had come to her and said, like, why are you doing this? And then she was like, she just realised, and she was like, yeah, my God, I need to take my real calling. And so basically the end of the story really is she says no to her old life of being an actress, which was her childhood dream, and she wants to be a nun. And she goes to Spain, learns the language, and she takes it on wholeheartedly. And her motto was always, you're either all or nothing. Either don't do it or do it. And so when she was all in, she was completely and utterly all in. And the head priest said to her, she said when he very first met her when she was 17, she was smoking a cigarette, and he said, well, the thing is, he said, if you want to be a nun, he said, you have to be obedient. And she says, if I have to be obedient, then I'm going to be obedient. And boom, there she was. So this massive flip from her lifestyle, she took on things very, very quickly. She was like, no. She had felt that love. She had felt that deep divine love, which I hope everybody experiences. And once she experienced that, then she could take it forward. And it's like, no, there's nothing else in this world that I want. I want to give solely to my spiritual path, to giving. And this is where the miracle was for me. I felt like it was always in the background, actually, of my whole week. It's like, give, give, let go of this idea of people trying to control you, let go of anything outside of you trying to control you. Just keep giving to every situation. Give more and more and more. Whatever it looks like, whatever it takes, just keep giving. And it just struck me how giving she was. They would say, she worked with children, and so in the break times, the children loved her, so they just wanted to be around her. And the whole time she would just keep giving and giving and giving and giving, because she wanted nothing to do with a personal sense of self. And that's what she saw, her split was, is that what she saw through being the actress, that it's me, 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 me. It's all about me, her vanity, her wanting admiration, wanting what we talked about last time. What do you want? You want people to see you. Do you want to be admired? And so she knew that was like, in a way, like her nemesis, so to speak, and she had to, no, I am not doing that. And so through her unraveling was, I don't want any of this to come from me. It has to come from the Lord, as she says. I want everything to be done for him. And so something inside of me just softened, and I just thought, yes, that is it. This is the answer. Every relationship that is not working is what I'm not giving. Every situation is what I'm not giving to this situation. How foolish of me to think that it's the other way around, that I can even control something, that I can control a relationship, that I can put a limit on how much I'm going to give to certain ones and how much I'm going to give to others. I'm going to limit myself when I am limitless, and no wonder it's not feeling good. And so through her giving, I just felt that is it. This is exactly it. And I had some tears this morning. I had a bit of a cry, because I just felt like, yes, it's still that me, 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 me. It's still that voice. That's the ego voice, and that's why often it's difficult on this journey, because there's that me, 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 me. It's all about me. That's what the ego says, and I see that, and I've seen that as a big trap in my life. That's where I can relate to her, and still could. It's like, I'm holding back from giving to myself. What are you doing? And so, yeah, that was what really, really touched me. It's like, no, this is not about me. This is no longer about me. She was so inspiring in that was so important to her. And I think that's what's important to me. And it was like, I must go forward. I must go to whatever's needed to be given. And of course, what I noticed with this is through the beginning of my annoyance, when that came up, then slowly, because I'd undone the door to the ego a bit, it's slowly little things were annoying me, little conversations that were being had. His voice had come back stronger in my mind, and I'm like, oh God, this is annoying me. And now that voice is starting to take over. Don't forget, it's all about me. This annoyance. And the same with, helping, Am I actually helping through my heart, through my joy, through my love? Or am I helping because I feel like I have to do it? Because if you're doing a Course in Miracles, giving and receiving are one in truth. So of course we can all say that. You can say the words, I want to give, but to actually give is another matter. And I think that's what I did. That's what I did. I just used the words like, oh yeah, I want to give. I want to give so I can get. That's what, really and truthfully, that's what I've done. So everything can be completely and utterly hijacked into this just by using the words. Anyone can say that. There's a book over there. You can just say, yeah, I want to give. Well, do you? Do you really? Do you want to give up yourself? This lie, this hatred that spews out everywhere, do you really want to give it up? Do you want to continue on with that? Do you really want to give? It's a good question. Do you really, really want that? Do you really, really want to let go of that? Because of course the ego wants to scare you. Oh my God, it's always the question, well, what's going to happen if I let go? Well, who cares? Let's just get on with it. That's the answer to that. Move in that direction. Trust what's being given, and everything will be revealed. And so that's where I felt, yes, this is so right. It's where I'm not giving. And so now I guess the other beautiful miracle is that I knew that I had to join with my friend who we had the uncomfortable feelings, and so I said, yeah, can I talk to you, because I'm going to be sharing about this on the show. So I thought I better share with you first, because I thought it'd be like a shock or something. And yeah, just in that moment, I just shared everything that I knew, and I just said, I feel there's something else underneath all of this. Seemingly, I know there's this projection, and I don't actually feel that any longer, but I don't feel that control projection there any longer, but it was there. And I know that there's something that I have to go towards, and this reflection has been a reflection that I haven't wanted to go towards. I've gone towards it as much as I could, not enough, let's get it right. There's been my demeanor has been to step away, because I felt like I don't want to get into the conflict. And because we both recognise in each other, we can trigger each other. So it's like, I don't want to be upsetting people for start off with. And I don't want to be getting upset, and I don't want to be getting angry. So, of course, the ego says to avoid all of that. But that's not what we're doing. And so that's where the courage comes in. It's like, no, I've got to step forward. And so when that momentum comes, that's when we take that opportunity. And so I felt like I shared everything that I really wanted to from my heart, and I shared pretty much everything that I've shared here, maybe more. Can't really remember now because it's gone. And it was this beautiful joining of, so from her perspective, I feel that, and I want to join you in that. I want to uncover this. I know there's something here. There's something I'm not facing. It's kind of obvious, really. There's something that's not being faced. And it's never personal, because of course it's just the veil, isn't it? We're looking at the veil. You're looking at these veils and you're like, well, I have no clue what this is all about. Everything is waiting behind that veil. And unless you're going to be willing to look beyond the veil, then, look at the veil to start off with. Unless you're going to do that, then you're going to feel stuck. And so that's what we're doing here. We're encouraged to do that in a way not of blame. And it just felt like we joined in this prayer of let's uncover what is underneath this. And of course that does seem like it's personal, and it's like, yep, the deeper prayer is use everything. I just don't know how to do this. I've avoided this all my life. I don't know how to step forward. I don't know what I'm stepping forward into. I don't know how to be. But in some respects, that's actually probably better than when you think you know something. I am now completely and utterly in the dark. I don't know how to move forward. I'm going to have to be shown to be moving forward, because I just get a sort of headache when I'm trying to think about, because I'm trying to solve the problem where I can't solve the problem. And there's a much, much greater plan. And so I think some of the beautiful things that have come of this, which really I'm wanting to share as the gift, is no matter what things seem to look like in form, and they may look like they're going wrong, they're actually never ever going wrong. It's actually always going right. And there's that beautiful teaching from the Course, isn't there, where everything is always working for your own best interests. And that is a great step in seeing that in your mind. And so that is something to always remember. So at the start of the week, you set a bring it on prayer. Things are going to start to happen, of course. And then difficulty comes and you undo the door of guilt, And the first thing you want to do is you want to run away from it. Who wants to experience that? But what we have to do is we have to go through it. So in that situation, it's remembering that the Holy Spirit is always with us. There is the ultimate reality is wanting to be revealed in every single moment, in every relationship, in every situation that you're in. In this situation now, you can leap into heaven. It's as simple as that. You can remember, you can be self-realized within this whole continuum right here and now. It's not waiting for, well, seemingly it's waiting for you. It's here now. And it's just a matter of whether you're going to accept that as your reality. And so that's why we're embracing everything. And of course, that's the holy instant. You cannot go to the holy instant with fear, because there is no fear there. Fear and love do not exist together. So that's why you've got to clear this fear. So anything you feel fearful of, and as we spoke about in the beginning, is not real. It's not actually happening. So the more and more that's being cleared away for this moment to come. So that's our work, forgiveness. Forgive what never happened. Forgive the lie. And so I think for me, what I want to take from this is that everything was working for my own good, but I had to want it. I had to get on my knees. I had to say, I have to see this differently. I've got to do something different here. I've got to follow whatever you want me to do. I am in the dark. I need to find my way out. This is intolerable. And the flip side of it all is the joy is on the other side, as I shared. And so that's what we've always got to remember. Not some fleeting joy, not some fleeting happiness. Of course, that's going to be like that on this journey while we're unraveling. But there is something waiting for us so great. When we've had those beautiful experiences, everybody's had a beautiful experience that they can remember. And as Jesus says in one of his lessons, he says, times that by 1,000, and you're not even close to what the truth is. And it's like, oh, am I gonna sit there and wallow in this scenario of some past regurgitation of nothingness, or am I gonna continue on? Am I gonna say no? We know where the end result is going. It's joy, happiness, and ultimate love beyond all measure. Then I'm going to be going for that. So whatever I've got to walk through in this seeming week, which I did, is done. It's over. So, and of course, yesterday I was like, how can I do this show on where you don't want to go when I don't want to go there? I felt like such a hypocrite. I was like, why have I set myself up for this? Of course, the victim story wants to come in. It always wants to bring in this guilt, this victim story. You're not going to make it. But something inside's got to say no. And that's what I was feeling. It's just like, wow, listen, you've got an episode tomorrow. This is why I love it. This is why I do this, because it spurs me on. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to go on there and tell everyone you're a victim of the world I see, are you? You're going to say how terrible everything happened and, okay, no miracles for me. Well, if no miracles happened, something went wrong. Yeah, something would have gone wrong because I wasn't praying enough. I wasn't asking to be shown. That's the only problem. The miracles are all around us. And so, yeah, that was it. It was like, I had to have something for today. It's like, well, listen, I need help today. And boom, in it came. So I just feel so much gratitude. I'm back in this. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling the strength. I'm feeling the strength inside. I'm feeling the joy. And hopefully this is encouragement. That's all we're doing on this journey, as the Course teaches, which I love. He said, your only job to your brother is to inspire him. That's it. Which is a great job, isn't it? So every single joining is about, okay, inspire them to find themselves. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's your only role in any given situation. So hopefully this is what this is. This is like an inspiration. Okay, I got through it. You can do it. You can get through it. You can face whatever it is that you need to face. You don't go alone. We do it together. And so again, here we are, back in this beautiful moment, where nothing really happened. Where all was well in the kingdom. Nothing ever changed. It's like the Wizard of Oz, isn't it? It's like, you always had the power to go home. But you believed in a story that wasn't even true. So that's what I encourage. That go and face that, whatever it is that haunts you, and go straight to it. Don't hold back. Because what's really waiting is the truth. And that's what's trying to be covered up by this fake story that wants to try and stop you through fear. But in actual fact, there's a wonderful, wonderful gift there for you, as we've just found out. So again, here we go. We're going to see what happens over the next 7 days. We're not backing down. We're going full throttle. So next lesson, bring it on. I'm ready. We go again. I'm not going to be taken down. So here we go. So if you want to join me in that prayer, go ahead. And a big thank you to everyone who's sent in their messages and their prayers, which have been so amazing, and your courage. I feel so grateful. You're inspiring me actually to carry on with what you're facing. So I just feel so much gratitude that we really are in this together, and we're lifting one another up into the truth, and we're letting this world go and finding that love inside. So much appreciation for joining me again, and I very much look forward to seeing you next week. So let's expect miracles. Blessings, everyone. Goodbye.